Hi everybody, welcome back to the Claremont Classic Garage. Today we're back in our favorite place in the world, Jackson's Auto Wreckers. Coming up in the middle of August, I've got it written down here, hang on. August 14, 15, and 16, that's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the following week, the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, they're going to be open for those 6 days. Thursdays and Fridays it'll be 9 to 4, and Saturdays it'll be 9 to 2. We're down to our last 14 chances to get in here. They're opening for these 6 days in August, and there'll be a further 8 days in October. I'll deal with that down the road. Sorry, as soon as I start talking, my nose gets itchy. What we're doing today is we're going to shoot a few videos, and I'm going to blitz you with 4 videos in 4 days. We're going to cover some different topics. It's my goal. I want to get as many people, enthusiasts, into this place as possible, so as much stuff as possible can be put back into the old cars that need these parts. There's still a treasure trove up that hill of stuff. What we're going to be doing today in this video, we're going to be going around. I've brought a Johnson bar and a few sockets, and we're going to be checking for engines, finding as many engines as we can that still turn, and try to identify them. And maybe some of these engines can get out of here and get a home between the fenders of your project car. So let's get started. So here's a bin up in behind the shop. And we've got a bunch of engines in here. These are probably some of the last ones that they ever pulled here. We've got an EFI Ford 300 here. It turns. In behind it, we have an EFI 5-liter. So it's, you can tell by the intake and the throttle body. It's a truck, not a Mustang. And depending on the vintage of it, it's 50-50, whether it's a flat tappet cam or a roller. But it does turn. It's complete. There's a Ford mod motor there. I just wasn't able to get a hold of anything to turn it because of where it's sitting. This Chevy here, it's an old orange one, and I would take a good guess that this is a 350, especially because the balancer's gone from it. You know, somebody may be looking for a thick 350 balancer, stole the balancer off of this thing somewhere along the line. It turns. Here's another, a newer Chevy engine here. It's a TBI engine. It turns. Up here we've got 2 more Chevy engines. They both have thick balancers. These are probably also both 350s. They both turn. This one's got a Quadrajet on it. And so does this one. And here we even have all my mini stock buddies. Look at here. A single cam neon short block. And I would say, judging by the beautiful paint and the markings on, that this thing, it may be a new old stock short block or one with very low miles on it. I could tell by the pistons it's a single cam engine. Probably a great little engine for you mini stock guys. Okay, back in this bin, we're still in behind the shop in kind of the newer section that they opened up recently. There's a whole bunch of Chevy V8 engines in here. They're probably mostly 350s. Most of them seem to be stuck. I haven't been able to get any of them to budget. It's tricky when they're laying on the floor, sitting on the pulleys like that. But still, excellent cores. And there's a whole bunch of Chevy transmissions in this box too. I'm guessing they're all 350s. I'm no GM expert. What is this one here? This one here seems to be free. I was able to get it to turn a little bit. This one here, let's check this one. Yep, this one's free also. This one here is a Ford 6-cylinder. It's a Or is it, no, this is an AMC engine, I think. Is it? I don't know. Damn things all look the same when they're not in cars. Let's see here. That one's stuck. We've got here an old Buick Straight 8. It's also stuck. So here we've got a Ford FT truck engine with a, it's actually got a rebuilder tag from Ford Motor Company on it. I don't know what it is, a 331, a 361, a 391. I just know it's big and it's free. Here we've got in this bin a couple of Ford engines. This one is an FE. It's out of a truck, so it could be a 360 or a 390. You'd have to pull a plug and check the stroke, and then you could determine it. But she's free as a bird. What does it have for carburetor? I think it's a 2-barrel. It doesn't matter. And in behind it is a 400 out of a newer truck from the M series of engines, right? People love them, people hate them, whatever. But that one, it's a 400 and it is also free. This one here, interesting. It's a nailhead Buick, but it's stuck, unfortunately. Here we've got a 318 from a pickup truck, and it's free. Anybody looking for a 318? It won't turn right around because it's sitting on the end of the crankshaft. I want to see if I can get the back door of this van open, because I think there's a couple of Windsor engines back there. And I guess I could show you some transmissions here and there too in this video, because transmissions kind of go with engines. Here's a big C6. You can tell by this big tall thing it's from 429, 460, or M's. You know, 351M, 400. Isn't this sad? A K-Car TBI engine. It's junk. It's stuck. So yeah, in here there's a couple Chevy engines. I won't even try to turn those. And a Ford Windsor of some description. Can I look through the side window and see what it is? Yeah, that one's stuck. And too bad. It's got a car oil pan on it. Oh well. It's a 302. So here's a box. We've got another Ford FE engine here. It's free. I just had it turning, and it probably had a 4-barrel on it because, as you can see, the intake manifold's gone. Nobody comes to the junkyard to get a 2-barrel intake for an FE engine. So I'm assuming it would probably be a 352 or maybe a 390. In the back there's a Windsor engine, a 289 or a 302. It's stuck. There's a V8 flathead there. I didn't even try turning that. And this a GM engine, I think it's by the red paint, it's a Buick. And I couldn't get it to turn either. Okay, now we're heading over the bridge, and we're going to go up the hill and get to the real show. This was just a warm-up down here. All right, we're up the top of the hill. We're going to continue exploring and see if we can find any more engines. This one probably needs a little work to get it back to life, but there's a Pontiac straight 8 flathead. You're not going to find a ton of those around anymore. Here we've got another Buick straight 8. You grab this one and that one that's a little better preserved in the box down below, and take these over to your machine shop, and I'm quite sure he'd be able to put you together a really nice running Buick straight 8. Here's an old GMC truck full of Ford engines. This one here is a 351 Windsor. It's hopelessly seized. That, I don't know what that aluminum one is. There's a couple of weird looking, oh, that's actually a Chevette engine there. It's not full of Ford engines then, but there's a few. This one here, it's a 360 or a 390 out of a pickup truck. And despite sitting here outside with no air cleaner on it, she turns. This one here is a 351M or a 400. Who knows if it turns or not. I can't get down there to get the socket in the balancer. What I'm going to do though now is find a hubcap or something to put over top of this guy. I want to seal this up so somebody could use this engine if they find it. Here's a bread truck mostly filled with 4-cylinder engines from front-wheel drive cars. There's another K-car engine. Oh, K-car. Here's this one's a Mazda. Who knows what they all really are, but I'm quite sure if this is what you're working on, you'll recognize it. So here's an old Dodge van. There's a Ford FE engine, a Chevy engine, Ford straight 6. There's another straight 6 in there. I didn't really identify it. All seized. This guy here, I don't know what he is, but he seems to have a problem. Here's a truck box with a few engines in it. I'm sure they're all roached. Here's another Oldsmobile engine, seized. Bunch of Chevy engines in here, some Chrysler transmissions. Chrysler engines, a couple of them. That one will be junk. It's been sitting so long the pulley rotted out. This one, it's got an air cleaner on it. Maybe it's stuck. This bus here has got a bunch of transmissions in it. A few miscellaneous engines. There are some interesting transmissions in here. There's a couple from little Mitsubishi D50 Dodge trucks. There's some T5s from Chevettes. There are... there's an engine from a Chevette. Got some other engines over here on the side. There's that one is a 351M or a 400. I can't tell you if it turns or not because I can't get out the end of the crank. And I can't get at the back of the crank because the transmission's still on it. Somebody's been in here labeling these. 200 C6. Yeah, that's for a C6 for a M or a 335 or a 385 engine. What else do we got in here? Yeah, you name it. There's a little bit of everything. Here's a 727 for a slant 6. You don't see those every day. That there on the top with the stick sticking out of it, that's a T5 for a Chevette, and there's several of them in here. And here's the third school bus, and this baby is loaded with transmissions. Even some big ones out of big heavy trucks or school buses or something. Oh, K-car. I have this affinity for K-cars. That's an old FMX for a modified. I don't think they'd put that behind a 460. There's some other weird stuff here. These little guys say Ford, but I don't know what Ford. Some little 4-cylinder car, I guess. A couple of other small little engines up at the front here. Everywhere you go, man, there's something in here, and it's usually interesting. A couple of V6 engines. Here's a C4 with a bell housing for a 351M. Here's a Chrysler 400 short block. Obviously seen better days, but these things are great for building strokers out of. Guys like to use the 400. That's the biggest bore ever on a Chrysler big block engine, and they put stroker cranks in them, and they make nice little performing engines. Here's another Buick straight 8. This is the third one we found in here today. That's pretty cool. So here we are in an old truck box here. A bunch of engines. Chevy V8s. Who knows what they are. That's probably a 305 or a 267 or something. That one there in the middle, that is a 383. If you know someone looking for one. Has it got heads on it? Yeah, the heads are still on it. I'm not sure what year it is, but it's a 383. I thought there was a 400 in here too, but I kind of think that open space on the floor there is where the 400 used to be. Although I don't know how in the world they would have gotten it out of here. Oh no, that's it right on top there. I think that one there. No, that's not a 400. That's a small block Chrysler. You can tell where the oil filter is on the side. So maybe the 400's gone, or I am misremembering, as is prone to happen from time to time. Anyway, that 383 would probably be a good grab for somebody. It doesn't look too bad. It could probably be rebuilt quite nicely. Here's another bus full of engines. We got a Slant 6. All the big three are here. We got a Slant 6, a 200 Ford, and a 250 Jimmy there. There's another Ford engine. I think that is probably a 250. And there's a Chevette engine. And there's a couple more up there. I can't really. I think there's another Ford 200 up there. And that's about it for in here. I would imagine that every single one of them is locked up tight as a drum from sitting here like this for so many years. Here's a few engines in here. Again, probably a 305. I don't think 350s ever had these funny carburetors on them, although I may be wrong. This is interesting. It's a Volvo. The transmission still turns. There's the little Volvo engine. We've got yet another Oldsmobile engine. Don't suppose it turns. No. Chrysler engine. Locked up. This is, what is this one? It's a 360 too. Yeah. Stuck. Here's another bus full of 4-cylinder and a few V6 engines of every make and description known to man. The one you need is probably in here. There's a few Ford engines inside this. That one there is a 240. And over there's a 300. The 300 that we bought for Project Big Six actually came out of this van that was sitting in the back of it. And there's a Windsor engine right there and a Dodge 318. Also here, there is the remains of a 460 in here. There's the intake manifold. And there's the cylinder heads off of it right there. You need a pair of 460 cylinder heads. There they are. You don't even have to take them off. They're just sitting here in this van. And this here is an FE engine. It's an earlier one, you can tell, because it's got the spin-on fuel filter. I can also tell it's a truck because it's got the sideways oil filter. So that's probably a 352 or a 360. And unfortunately, everything in here is seized. So that was a pretty good tour. We saw a lot of engines up there. You know, there's some that still turn and are, you know, viable, that you could maybe fix them up and stick them in a car and run them, right? There's other ones that are complete. They're, you know what they are. They're stuck. Good candidates for the machine shop. All those ones that we found that were stripped and everything up there, they were probably stripped on this here stand. I found it in the weeds here. This was probably Paul's engine stand. This old 318 here, I guess, never quite made it that last few feet to get on the stand to get taken apart, eh? But anyway, if you need an engine or a transmission for your project, come here and take a walk around. You'll probably find something you could use, you know. It's amazing. There's a lot of iron up that hill. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for tuning into the Claremont Classic Garage. It's always a blast to have you along for the ride with me. I hope you'll come back and see us again sometime. And until then, I'm Kevin saying so long for now.